Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. Hope you guys are all doing well. We are back and we've got more Manchester United news for you guys today, and it comes in the form of Donny van der Beek, and we'll also be checking up on the news on Erling Haaland, as well as there are more rumours, as you'd expect, linking the Norwegian with Manchester United due to his relationship with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, due to Manchester United just being one of those teams that will always be linked with every single player. But there are real reasons for Manchester United to be linked with Erling Haaland, so we'll look at those rumours as well in this video. But what I want you guys to do before we get stuck into that is, if you're not subscribed, get hitting that subscribe button. We are trying to hit 100k ASAP. We're around 3,000 away from doing it, so get hitting that subscribe button, get liking the video, commenting, sharing, joining if you can as well as members to help support the channel. But apart from that, kick back, enjoy the video and keep it locked and get your comments in, because without your engagement in this channel, there's no point me being here. But first off, let's get stuck into the rumours surrounding Donny van der Beek, Manchester United's £40-odd million signing in the summer. He was one of the players that we looked at as our big signing of the summer in the end, although we expected to get the likes of Jadon Sancho in, potentially a big signing at centre half. None of those signings ever really developed. We got a few late signings in Edinson Cavani, Alex Telles, and of course Amad Diallo Traore and Facundo Pellistri. But by the end of the window, Donny van der Beek was our main signing. Now, it was a signing that initially we thought brought depth to Manchester United. We thought this is a midfielder that can play in 6, 8, 10. He can play in various midfield positions to be able to bring us depth, rotation option, and possibly someone that would eventually start games for Manchester United. We'd seen him for Ajax in the Champions League at the highest level, performing at the highest level, and he was a player that was highly sought after. We saw in January there was a deal, the January just before he signed for Man United, there was a deal agreed with Real Madrid for around £50 million for him to join them. That deal fell through after the coronavirus pandemic hit and finances were hit for some of these clubs. Then it saw Manchester United bring him in for around £40 million. United's relationship with Edwin van der Sar was something that was believed to have helped smoothen the process of getting that transfer and getting Donny van der Beek to the club. So that was the background to the signing. United brought in Donny van der Beek, and we all thought, here we go, here's a nice midfielder. But we also had in the back of our minds, Paul Pogba could possibly be off. You know, we've always held that maybe expectation that he would eventually leave Manchester United for Real Madrid or Juventus or something like that. So Donny van der Beek probably thought, sooner or later I'm going to be one of the main men around here. And Manchester United fans kind of felt that as well. But now we come around to headlines such as this. Donny van der Beek wants to quit Manchester United, with £40 million midfielder set to hold talks with Ed Woodward after starting just 2 Premier League games under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, what I must point out is this is via the Mail, but according to the Daily Star. So you have to take this with a pinch of salt. It is the Daily Star. But they say the frustrated Dutchman is set to hold talks with Ed Woodward before the end of the season, but wants to leave in order to kickstart his career. So you have that as today's story. That is the report that's out there. Now, despite the fact that, as we say, it's from the Daily Star, so let's take it with a pinch of salt. I don't think even the date's right in the Daily Star half of the time. So this is probably another one of those trash stories. And we've also got to bear in mind, he hasn't played for the last month because he has been injured. But when you look at the stats, he hasn't played enough this season. Like, he will think that. A lot of fans will think that. And when you look at it, on paper, he's had 26 appearances for Man United. That's a healthy amount for a squad player, right? But when you dig into it, he's played 90 minutes 4 times. He's played more than 60 minutes 6 times. And he's played 45 minutes or less 16 times. So the majority of the time when he's used by Manchester United is for a very short amount of time, either coming on at half time or coming on later on in the game as a substitute. He's started and completed games 4 times for Manchester United. And he started and came off as a sub 6 times for Manchester United. Now, I expected his development, his integration at Manchester United to be quite slow. We've got Bruno Fernandes, who plays in his favoured position. We know Bruno Fernandes is one of the top guys around. He's going to be hard to be displaced from the team. If you're going to play in that position, you're probably going to be coming in as a rotation or a backup option, as we saw in the Liverpool game when Donny van de Beek did just that in the Cup. But you've also got Pogba, who has had big injuries this season. And unfortunately, Pogba and Donny van de Beek are both injured at the same time. Maybe you would have seen Donny playing more in the last month. In fact, I'm quite sure you would have seen him start more games in the last month. But then you got Pogba in one of the positions that he also plays in. You know, it's going to be hard to get Pogba out of the team and Bruno. Any midfielder is going to find that hard. So we thought squad option, rotation option, but someone that gives us cover in every single position. We expected him to play more. That is for sure. We expected him to play more. And especially when you look at, now Fred and McTominay have done very well at times this season. Scott McTominay's added goals to his game, which is great to see. But when you look at the distribution from that position at times, you can't help but feel that Donny van de Beek would have provided a little bit more stability in terms of maintaining possession had he played more in that position. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, well, he's been injured, or he's not been fit enough when he has been. But how can you get fit if you're not playing enough games? He came to the club with, you know, in March, the Eredivisie season finished. Then he came to the club in the summer. No pre-season. He's expected to get embedded into the team. So I expected a slow start to his United career. But you have to see him play more games. And you can understand why he would have doubts over his Manchester United career. Now, another spanner in the works for him is the fact that Paul Pogba could stay at Manchester United. There are rumours that Paul Pogba might be staying at Manchester United. And that means that it's more difficult to see him getting the game time that he wants. So you kind of start to feel maybe there is something in this. But I feel like his future should be at Manchester United. We should be looking to play a 4-3-3 in the future. And if you do that, it means with Pogba and Bruno being two of those eights, he can also come in, you know, if you have 3 eights rotating in those two positions, you'll be able to give him more opportunity. At the minute, we're having to play two eights as sixes because we haven't got a proper 6. Which means Donny's getting less game time because let's be real, Solskjaer's not playing him in that position. He's not going to take over Bruno Fernandes. So these rumours kind of start to make sense. But at the same time, you look at some of the performances from Bruno in the latter stages of the season, and we needed that guy to be rested. So I do kind of feel like Ollie should have used Donny van de Beek more. But I do think at the same time that we kind of have to be patient with him as well. Look at Fabinho's integration at Liverpool, for example. It was a gradual thing. Players come into the Premier League, they need to adapt to the speed, the pace, the aggression of the league. I get it. Without a pre-season, it's more difficult. But I wouldn't be surprised if these rumours were true, or if something like this cropped up in the summer, especially if Paul Pogba stays. And I'd be disappointed by that, because I think Donny van de Beek's a quality player that probably should have had a few more opportunities than he's been given at Manchester United this season. And if he did leave without getting a proper opportunity, I'd be disappointed. But as I said, this is just reports from the Daily Star. So don't not only take it with a pinch of salt, take it with a massive shovel of salt, because it's the Daily Star. Also, a funny story this week about Erling Haaland was the fact that United were apparently told that he wants £350,000 per week to make a deal to Manchester United happen. And he replied, and United replied, "Is that all?" Now, that's either real gangster or they were being sarcastic and just going, "Is that all?" As in taking the piss like, yeah, this geezer's asking way too much. Or they're being real gangster like, wow, that's nothing, mate. You may as well come over. I've got a feeling Manchester United might be chasing Erling Haaland in the same manner that they were chasing Alexis Sanchez, treating it like it's one of those signings that is a big statement, and it would be a big statement signing. But at the same time, I'm not confident in United doing any big business. And with the news that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could be getting a new contract, it's massively important that they back him, because next season the expectation is going to be, right, third last season, potentially second or third this season. All right, now we want to see you going top of the league, or looking close to going top of the league. And without strengthening in the right positions, that's not going to happen. I don't see Haaland's future becoming a thing until next summer. But if he's available this summer, if Dortmund want a bidding war, then I fully expect Manchester United will be right at the front door for that. So it could be an interesting summer. But I just love that story. United moving like pimps, or moving real broke. Probably the latter. Anyway, keep it locked. Make sure you're liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that stuff as well. Gonna have loads more coming for you on this channel, including more general football stuff as well. I'm gonna get stuck into it. So make sure you're keeping it locked. Like, comment, share, subscribe. For now, I've been AdamMcKola. I'm out of here.